Sup, Master Lee.
And Bulu.
Alright, y'all. It's been like years since I've checked out Black Myth Wukong. Since that initial wow video that they put out. And I'll tell you, that reaction we had, people were not happy with me at all.
Why?
They call me a Chinese traitor because I basically just spoke the truth that most games from China, I don't know if they can hit that AAA quality bar that so many other developers around the world can hit. But you know what? This particular game, year after year, every time they put something new out, makes me go like, you know what? I love being proven wrong.
Because they do improve.
You know what? That's exactly it. And this developer here looks committed to not turning out something that's generic because it looks stunning. Now, the real test is in the gameplay. Is it fun? Does it feel good? And we finally got our first hands-on preview from IGN. Now, I have no idea when this game's coming out, so this could still be very early. It has potential to be like the kind of game I would want to play. It kind of felt like more like God of War initially when I was first checking it out, but if they kind of skew more towards what I would call like the kind of gameplay that people really love, which is the super hard and difficult type of game like Elden Scrolls or Dark Souls, then I think they nailed it. I think they got a good shot at worldwide domination here. So let's check it out and see where they are with this at this point.
All right.
By the way, if you want to hear some wicked wild stories, you got to check out my channel.
And if you want some hotness, check out my fantasy show on my OnlyFans.
Let's do this.
Since Black Myth Wukong released its first trailer 3 years ago, every year on August 20th, the developer Game Science has shown something new about the development progress of the game. However, what's different this year is that we finally got to play it. My 45-minute demo provided 3 boss fights and a relatively complete chapter experience. It's worth noting that after the event, the dev team made some adjustments to the trial version based on the feedback and suggestions received during the closed-door evaluation that I participated in. As a result, my experience may differ slightly from what others experienced in Hangzhou and at Gamescom in Cologne.
All right, man, how does it feel?
Due to time limitations, this trial version did not include the level up system. However, it provided players with a set of skills and equipment that will be obtained in the mid-game of the final version. In addition to basic light and heavy attacks, the protagonist's attack stances can be switched between 3 different postures, including smash form, pillar form, and thrust form at any time. Furthermore, spells such as Immobilize, Stone Solid, Ring of Fire, and the Pluck of Many are also available for use. There are also 2 transformation abilities. One turns you into the previously seen Fireblade Wolf, and the other results in a creature with poisonous attacks. Additionally, players will find and collect certain potions for in-game use. It's important to note that these configurations may vary slightly depending on the different stages. The first boss is named Centipede Guai, and it appeared in the first 13-minute gameplay trailer released in 2020. This time, it awaits players in a horrible cave. Its attack methods include rolling and heavy punches, as well as the ability to release poisonous gas. This gas inflicts a slow-acting poison effect on the protagonist, causing gradual health loss, which can only be cured by consuming antidote potions. However, this boss is considered relatively easy overall in terms of difficulty for this trial version. After becoming familiar with its attack patterns, most players should be able to defeat it easily. The second boss is the Macaque Chief, as seen in the Snow Mountain of the 2021 trailer. This time, players can experience the sequence just as it was shown. You can observe how the protagonist's movements and combat in the snow-covered terrain dynamically affect the accumulation of snow in real time. This battle also holds a secret. If the Macaque Chief's health is reduced to half within a certain time, it triggers his second phase. To encounter the monkey with wings, the protagonist needs to venture deeper into the scene. In this state, the monkey's aggression, attack range, and attack patterns all increase significantly. It gains the ability to launch aerial assaults against the player, making for a thrilling and intense encounter. The third boss is the Tiger Vanguard, who
looks like
appeared
the-
in the 2022
Panda.
trailer.
Pan
Time, the
Express?
Tiger
No,
Vanguard
I meant
awaits players as
Tofu
challenges in a blood pool in a temple.
Pan
According to the
movie.
developers, this boss will play a role in the storyline as an NPC who imparts the stone solid skill to the protagonist. Therefore, you will witness him using this skill during the battle. One highlight of this scene is how the water reacts and changes dynamically with the actions in combat. The
like
Tiger
you're fighting
Vanguard
blood.
boasts the highest attack speed and aggression among the 3 bosses. Not only does he possess both physical and spell-based attack abilities, but his combo attacks also deal substantial damage, making it easy to fall victim to his assault. The chapter experience provided during the Hangzhou event that I played the game at is called Purple Cloud Mountain. The overall scenery is somewhat reminiscent of the in-game footage shown in the 2022 trailer. This is a relatively complete level experience, featuring various environments such as forests, villages, and temples. There are also as many as 4 or 5 types of enemies waiting for players along the way. Don't underestimate these minions, as they also possess the ability to deliver a fatal blow to the protagonist with a single strike.
Very Dark Souls-like.
There's also a detour path in the level that players might not easily find, where they can encounter a hidden boss, the Poisonous King. This creature has the appearance of a scorpion-like monster. After engaging in conversation with it, players need to break the wine barrel beside it to start the battle. This hidden boss presents the highest level of difficulty in this trial version. It possesses extremely fast attacks, deals heavy damage, and boasts skills that inflict poison on the player. It took me nearly an hour of fighting to defeat it, and there were several instances where I succumbed to poison before being able to use the cure potion in time. And while Black Myth shares some similarities in its mechanics with the Dark Souls series, the combat feel here is quite distinct from any other similar games. In my opinion, this distinction arises from the fact that in other Souls-like games, players typically wielded weapons like swords or axes, with the grip at the weapon's end during combat. However, in Black Myth Wukong, the main weapon is a staff, primarily held in the middle. The grip on the staff changes according to different moves, creating a varied rhythm and action, even changing the length of the staff in combat. The impact feedback from the staff striking enemies is quite distinctive as well. Coupled with the support from the spell system during combat, Black Myth Wukong stands apart as an action RPG with a unique feel, differentiating itself from other ARPG and action games that have come before. Ultimately, despite developer Game Science providing a substantial amount of gameplay content in this trial version, there are still numerous questions waiting to be answered. For example, whether the protagonist possesses any other weapons, how the level up system works and what the skill tree looks like, and how many transformations and spells are available. All of these questions can only be answered once the game is finally released. Speaking of which, Black Myth Wukong is currently scheduled for release in the summer of 2024 for both PC and next generation console platforms.
A year from now.
For more on your favorite games, keep it right here on IGN.
That means they're pretty close to getting done.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 months plus, 6 to 9 months of what I call fine tuning. So I would say probably good 75% of the content must be in at this point. The mechanics definitely are like locked down, right? They're not going to change the leveling system, maybe some tweaks to it. So whatever he played at this point is probably pretty close to the final. I don't know if he was espousing how amazing it is, but he definitely didn't say anything about like how bad it is, which is really important, because he was like, you know, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel good, none of that. It sounded like he was actually pretty excited by what he was playing. So that means the controls must feel good. Yeah, that has to be tight, man. If they're trying to go Dark Souls route, gotta feel tight.
And I like how difficult to kill those
my God.
masters.
I mean, baby, Dark Soul games, you haven't actually seen me play anything in a while, but those games, you die like 1,000 times in like in a session. Although that was something that was a little bit weird about this. He said that, you know, he was fighting the boss. It took him an hour to kill the boss.
Almost.
But he said he only had a 45-minute play session. So which one is it? I'm a little confused by, like, did they give him more time? or what's going on there. But not unheard of for like. Actually, I would say take many hours sometimes to beat a boss if you really can't in a game like Dark Souls or Elden Ring. So it's intense. It's you got to master it to a point where you're just like it's like instinct, like
because they're all fast,
like that kind of thing. Yeah,
and I like how
fast.
unique the enemies are.
Oh my god, the enemies! All right, so this is the telltale sign for me of whether or not a developer here is legit, like. Design focused. There's developers out there who make great looking graphics. Okay, all right. And other games that are very generic, the copy of formula. But if you want to create good bosses, and this looks like it's very boss driven, you have to have such finesse in creating unique gameplay situations for each one. It can't just be one's fire and one's ice. They have to fight in different ways. You have to master different techniques, different combos, different weapons to really kind of pull it off. Pull that off. Looking very promising. I mean, I love nothing more than to be wrong with my initial assessment from 3 years ago. All right. That was a long time ago. I've seen games before 3 years ago where I'm like, man, that looks awesome. Like the new Saints Row game. And then you get to the finish line and you play and like, God damn, this is so generic and it sucks. This game is other direction. It looks better and better. So, internet, are you still going to hate me now? I don't even care. At the end of the day, if I like the game and I have a good time, that's all that matters.